well, at least the light world. You know, you can go up to Death Mountain, as you said earlier, or straight to Desert and whatnot. Oh my gosh, what a starting item, the Moon Pearl right away in Link's house. That legitimately means they have Dark World access already, because they could go up to Death Mountain and clip straight down, which is hilarious.
Yeah. So that even opens up the seed more than we thought.
See, we got our first bottle already on Lake Hylia Island, so it looks like Futon's going to go ahead and clip into this wall and grab that. That's not only just a nice one to have before you go to Kakariko, being able to, oh, yeah, kind of, got to do it quickly before that guy gets to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice having that so you can check the Sick Kid drop right away, but also just having a fairy for safety purposes is nice too. And we're about to see what's over in Sahasrara's hut. We got a heart piece, a heart container, and a heart container.
A lot of love from Sahasrara today.
Quite nice. Well, unless like something in Eastern Palace really pays out for hXcjedders, this route might not work out too well for the opening form, but at the same time, you have boots, so getting around the world is not too bad in case you don't find nothing. We got some blue rupees in tier 1, which is nice to get you some. Of course, we need rupees for the bottle vendor in Kakariko, 100 rupees. So farming that first set of hundo is one of your early tasks. Another bottle.
2 bottles already. Now let's see what else we got down here. 10 arrows.
10 arrows, yeah. I am sure if Futon found like maybe a weapon, a sword, Samaria, he might have considered dipping into into Escape and checking the front half of that. But without those things, he's gonna head on out of here. And this is looking to me like a trip over to Kakariko. He'll check Bonk Rocks along the way here. Gosh, starting boots is so nice. It's so great.
It is.
I mean, when you don't have the boots, making like isolated checks, stuff that's way out of the way, just feels so terrible the whole time. But now it's like, yeah, I can run all the way down check Agna if I want to.
Yeah, it's an option I kind of wish was built into the regular randomizer, to have that option to turn on boots early. When you think of the normal game, like the vanilla or NMG game, you always get boots right after Eastern, which is like 12 minutes into the game. Oh, that's nice. He's bomb drop Futon.
Yeah, that's really good. And getting some more money here. He's almost at his hundo.
So when you're playing this game normally, you expect to have boots, but when you go full seeds without boots, it just feels so bad.
Yeah. Well, Eastern Palace not really shaping up too nicely for Jedders at this moment. Got some bombs at Lumberjacks, so that is a good sign. And Hookshot and some cash requires the big red bomb. That is a really good hint to find, so might not have found any items in Eastern. Might not have found any items in Eastern, but that hint is pretty significant.
Yep. And we don't even need the red crystals to get to there if they do certain clips.
Yeah, if they can find the mirror, then they can go immediately to Pyramid Fairy if they want, which is really nice. We'll probably be seeing that at some point. I feel like it's really rare in an Overworld Glitches seed to actually see them get the Pyramid Fairy crystals to go open it up the normal way. I don't know. Yeah. I don't think I've ever seen that done.
No, we're still actually wondering what our crystals are. We did see the Zaha hint that Turtle Rock is our green pendant. Don't know anything else yet, though.
It looks like tier 3 tree pole is going to be bombs on Futon's side, which at this point is good, but not really necessary anymore. Oh, wow. Unfortunate for eggs. I'm just going to call them Jedders. It's really, the H and X is just kind of like fighting with me. But yeah, that was really weird. So he was trying to set up a kind of like a damage boost where you can take some hits to get some iframes, which allows you to hit the switch and just walk through the antifairies. But he just kept on getting tossed around and just never really like landed on that switch somehow. It's quite amazing. There's just a weird way around it where if you damage boost too much, you might just not touch it. But I believe that Could have been the last item, but who knows? It might have just ended up being the map or compass, whichever one he didn't get.
Yeah, we'll have to come back later. Gonna go towards CAC now as well. So far, we have not seen... We got the Moon Probe, but since then, we really haven't seen a big item.
Yeah, nothing that really directs us to any particular location next. I mean, I'd assume, unless we find something important coming up in here, we'll just continue routing, like, down to Mini Moldorm Cave. Futon has plenty of bombs to deal with that. I'm sure he would prefer
Okay, there we
hammer. That's nice. So we are legitimately just one item away from Dark World access. We don't even need to do any fancy glitches. If we can find a glove, then you can just go right through the portal and not care.
So yeah, Futon's going to continue to clear out CAC. Now, the one difference between Futon and Jedders is that Futon's already got 2 bottles, so he'll definitely be able to check Sick Kid. Jedders won't, so if Sick Kid has something, that's something Jedders is going to have to leave behind. And I believe those 2 bottles are Island and in the by the Uncle, so...
Mm-hmm. I gotta say, for an overall glitch, well, just rando seeds in general, early hammer is a good sight to see. I'm personally not a big fan of those late hammer seeds, and just a heart piece. All right, well, so Jedders will be just fine then going through Kakariko. Though I'm sure he's still gonna want those bottles at some point. They do come in handy for various reasons. But especially in overall glitches with access to Ganon's Tower relatively early. The last thing you want to see is like a hammer chilling in GT, because it's like, oh, come on. That's so annoying. Like, you can, because hammer kind of blocks out, hammer blocks out the entire left side, and oh wow, another lamp at the maze race. Well, fortunately, this time Futon will be able to just use a fancy clip to kind of do an upwards clip to grab it, and hopefully he'll be able to wiggle his way out of there. Nice. And continue on his route down to the Desert Palace. So that is our first fire source.
So, interesting, with that lamp, I think Futon could clear Desert right now.
That is true, though you'd have to go all the way back around if you wanted to... Because without his glove... Oh, there is a second shield. Without his glove, he'd have to go... I think he'd have to go all the way back around to Maze Race and then hop down onto that top ledge he was at, and then move over to the side and then hop down to bypass the glove requirement to get past the rocks. So hopefully, I'm sure for him, he's probably hoping that...
both items in the front, so he doesn't have to come back in right now.
Mm-hmm. Some arrows require the hammer. Well, we did get that, so it could be anything. And we can also determine that this is a crystal based on the music.
So far, not looking good. Futon does not want to see the map, because that would mean the last item's on Landmola's.
I am getting clarification from chat. You can jump over the main entrance to get in there. No need to jump from above. Well, hot dang. I hadn't seen that yet, so I'll shut my app. There's a lot. I mean, that's the thing, is there's so many glitches in this game, and there are like people that are working day and night to find these new glitches and new ways to do stuff. Someone was telling me yesterday while I was doing one that they'd found a way to clip into Laser Bridge in T-Rock without the mirror, and I'm like, get out of here. So, I won't act as an expert on this, despite the fact that when someone asked me my logic knowledge yesterday, I said that I was a literal expert. I was lying. I lied on my resume. Don't call the cops, please.
Oh, hey, there's Bombos. So, in Overworld glitches, we only really need one medallion, and that's whatever it is to enter Mire. So, might be needed. We'll have to wait and see. We also could need Bombos, of course, for Ice Palace.
Well, that is true. All right, Futon, do that thing.
We did get a quick map check. It's all crystals in the light world, with red crystals at Eastern and Harrop.
Okay. All right, I see it now. Wow, that's really easy. Okay, cool. Hey, I'm learning today. This is good for me. Oh no, Futon's learning too. Yeah, I did notice that both Pyramid Fairy crystals are in the light world, so, which means nothing because for various reasons. I mean, unless the rare case that the mirror is somewhere locked behind one of them, or something that you like, Bow for Eastern is also locking the mirror, some sort of shenanigans.
Yep, Futon pulls off the clip. He is in the back of Desert going for Land Molas. Gonna see a Hammer Land Molas here, which isn't too bad. It's a little slow, but
he's gonna mess it up.
Easily doable.
I can see it. He's gonna goof real hard. It's gonna be good.
And the dunking begins.
Futon doesn't even know the real way to clip into Desert. Well, how am I supposed to commentate this, guys? Is there like a million ways to do all these glitches? Come on, man. You gotta work with me. Oh yeah, this is the real one. No, it's not the real. Oh, okay. Well, you know what? I'll just watch. I'll just watch and say, hey, that was pretty cool. I'll just say that for every single glitch I see. Is that better? All right, let's see this Land Molas fight. There's one. There's one. There's one. Ah, a little slow on that one. There's another one. That was fancy.
First one down. Getting those hammer hits in nicely. Can at least get one lined up each time. Or I can try to get one lined up.
Big fan of hammer strats. Just kidding. Hammer's like both good and literally the worst. It's good because it's the equivalent of a tempered sword slash, so like just immediate raw power. Wow, there's Cane of Samaria. So both items in Desert Palace seemingly very, very good, very useful.
Yeah, that is a very nice find. Most likely gonna need that cane at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you want to get into GT. That means you can get to the right side.
Yeah, he can go check Tile Room if he wants at some point. Real quick. The other thing is, of course, once you get up to... Well... I mean, you might want it to, like... We might be seeing, early-ish T-Rock at some point. But we'll see. Curious to see where he's heading off to now. I guess he... Oh, well, yeah, there is, of course, Cave 45 and Agnes Cave. Because without the glove, after you beat Desert, you're stuck there. You can't go anywhere, so you gotta save and quit out.
Yeah, let's see. That's what he's gonna do. He's gonna go Cave 45. Also known as the cave south of the Haunted Grove. Can go to Agana as well. Can't do checkerboard yet because he does not have a glove.
And Jedders now making their way through Desert. Going to be finding that Bombos pretty soon. See if they'll elect to go fight Land Molas as well and get that Cane of Samaria. You almost kind of have to. You see that lamp, you're like, oh, I got to do this. I got to go right now.
Yeah. What is Agana holding? A flute.
That's pretty convenient. I mean, in Overworld glitches, flutes are generally not required because your ability to move around the world freely for the most part. But in the early game, especially at this point, I'd say it's just a nice quality of life improvement. Easy way to get down to like Ice Rod Cave, or we don't even have to see the Death Mountain clip up there. You can just fly up there.
Yeah, it's a very nice movement. Gonna be able to go wherever you want pretty fast. Jedders looks like he's going over for the Agana as well, which will get him his flute.
Yeah, it looks like he will not be taking on Land Molas at this time, so he will be missing out on that Cane of Samaria. Hopefully not putting that off for too long. Might come back after finding the glove or, a better weapon. like maybe, I don't know, maybe like a fire rod as well. But yeah, so far, you know, Kakariko didn't really have much. We had that hammer, but now we're starting to get a good array of items that can kind of lead us in particular directions. It looks like Futon is heading in the direction of the dam and probably Mini Moldorm Cave. He's going to be hoping he finds some money along the way.
Yeah, just get some, go for the high concentration of items right now. Well, let's see what Jedders is going to go do.
Looks like he's going to try and make his way up to K45 by clipping to the right over here. It's a downward clip into and then like a quick hop. See, I'm so limited because a lot of these clips that I look at, I'm like, I need like hook speed or spin speed to really get them comfortably. So, but of course you need the hook shot, which we know where it is. Well, one of these players does, or a sword to do those things. So I would personally be very limited in this situation. It's a good thing I didn't enter this tourney. Wow, it was such a good thing that my controller was broken at the time of signups closing. Dodged a bullet there.
Whoa. Futon got the middle Mini Moldorm trapped in that gap down there. Using some Mario strats to get these Mini Moldorms down. Successfully gets through them. 5 items waiting for him in the back.
Just felt like carrying that block around with him. We got some bombs. We got, hey, there's that money. All right, well, Futon does now have enough to hit up Zora. So if you guys want to take away his oh, wait, no, that was yesterday. Well, that's really nice. That's really convenient, having the money you need to do Zora, of course. In Overworld Glitches, it also considers such glitches, such very popular glitches that most people are already well accustomed to using, but aren't actually required in their normal seeds, such things as Fake Flipper. We might, more than likely, we'll see an extension of that with the stored Fake Flipper to potentially get an item on Zora's ledge in case it ends up being something important. Just a heart piece in Ice Rock Cave, so Futon's going to run along this edge here. He's going to run along, he's going to bonk. He's going to run along this edge here, which stores a water walk, and then all he has to do is Fake Flipper, keep that water walk stored, and then the next time he drops down a ledge, he'll be water walking. And of course, the nice thing is he'll have that pearl if he wants to dip into... Okay, all right, never mind. He's not going to do that thing. Yeah. He's just going to go check these stuff, which is fine. There's still plenty of things he could check. What's he doing?
I think he was debating between going straight up to Waterfall Cave and going to the Hobo. And decided he'd do Hobo. Since he has the Moon Pro, though, he can Fake Flipper out of Hobo and go to Waterfall Cave as well.
Yeah, that is... okay.
Or...
I think what it might have been useful is if he swam up here with the water walk stored, and then he could hop down from Hobo to run all the way back. But I guess it doesn't matter because he's going to go into Waterfall Cave and reset his water walk anyway.
Go ahead.
I
gotta say, it's a nice touch on that Luigi sprite with the goggles.
It's really cute. It kind of reminds me of like Super Mario 3D World with the Nessie character that has like the little goggles, or like the dolphins in Super Mario World, how they have little goggles.
Now, Jedders is setting up a water walk as well. We'll see how he decides to use it.
Yeah, evidently you don't need to store a water walk in Overworld Glitches to get the Zora Ledge items. Oh, I love and hate when you see that. For whatever reason, if you're water walking, when you get your 4th heart piece and get a new heart container, it kicks you out. It makes you drop in the water. So unfortunately, Jedders messing up the Fake Flipper. As far as I know, will kill that stored water walk. I'm assuming. We'll see what happens from here. Just a heart piece, so Futon's feeling comfy. Doesn't have to worry about doing that. I need to learn this. There's apparently a way you can just clip to Zora Ledge whilst water walking, so... Which I know it exists. I've seen Futon do it, so... Just the stored water walk is so cool.
So we get another heart container from Zora, and Futon's out of Zora's area. And let's see what's next on his list of things to do.
Well, he does have the front of escape. He could do that. And especially with that lamp, he can check all of it. It looks like he's heading up to Death Mountain.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to Death Mountain.
He does have the flute if he wants to just skip this, but, you know, it's good practice just to go ahead and do these clips anyway. And they look so cool. I mean, how often do you get to see a luscious green Death Mountain? Matches the boulders.
And he's gonna go save the old man quick with the lamp. This is incredibly fast as long as you don't fall down that hole.
I don't know. He did the thing. Oh no! Bit of flubs on both sides here. Futon falling down that hole, and at the same time, Jedders getting sniped by a Zora, which of course will insta kill you in this current version of the randomizer, which is different than the vanilla interaction when you take damage while fake flippering. Kind of a fail safe so people don't accidentally soft lock and break their game. But that's going to put him a bit behind. Of course, there wasn't anything in Waterfall Cave except a heart container or a heart piece. There were 2 heart pieces or something in there.
And we're going to see Futon clip up to Hera. Assuming the boulders will let him.
Yeah. At least they're being nice and just pushing him immediately to the right as opposed to, like, out or, like, at a diagonal or something.
All right.
Actually, I actually don't know that setup to get into Hera without a spin speed or hook speed, so I gotta take some notes. I gotta write these things down.
Alright, Swamp Big Key and Cash in West Swamp. That's kind of a tough one because that doesn't really tell you if you need to do Western Swamp or not.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the nice thing is that means he'll be able to just go straight to Argus and just hope that a map or compass ends up in the big chest, and then he can just write it off and not have to worry about it. And yeah, with that Cane of Samari, he's going to be able to quickly set up these little iframes stuff going on here in the tower room, so he can get up, grab a coffee or a tea. I don't know what he drinks. A beer. It's pretty early for a beer.
We got Jedders also going up to Death Mountain. Decided to flute up there, and Dead Rocks are bullying him.
Yeah, unfortunately, he didn't have enough rupees going to Zora, so he wasn't able to get his money. Or his...
And
what did Zora have? Heart piece?
a heart container.
Nothing.
Yeah. So yeah, nothing important. Meanwhile, Futon did step off, took some damage. He's setting up a death warp. Gotta be a little careful he doesn't take that death before grabbing the big key.
That'd be funny. Oh, speaking of funny...
Yeah.
Oh, what a shame. So, of course, he did get that fairy in a bottle from Lake Hylia. Yeah, and with Blue Mail, it takes a little bit longer to a Death Warp. So, a few seconds lost, but not a big deal. Surprised the Moldurns, the mini Moldurns in the previous room do more damage. So it might have been faster to go up and just run into them a few times, but because of their erratic movement, it's kind of easy to end up just like running after them while they're running away from you. They're kind of jerks in how they function.
Over on Jedder's side, we're going to see East Death Mountain.
This is one of my favorite, stupidest clips in the game. It makes no sense, but yeah, you just walk downwards towards that rock, and it just pops you back up. It's so stupid, but I love it.
Yeah. So, Paradox Cave, 7 items. Let's see what Jedders gets in here. Futon picks up some silvers, though.
Oh, that's a nice find. And I got another correction. Apparently, Mini Moldurns and Stalfos do the same amount of damage with Blue Mail, so I'm sorry for telling lies again. I apologize. I clearly don't know anything about this video game. But I do know that Futon is Luigi, and Luigi is very funny. Very funny character.
Alright, Jetter's taking on these mini Moldorms as Futon's gonna take on the big Moldorm.
Whoops. Bit of a dive. Oh, that was unfortunate. It looks like Jedders was... He tossed the bomb across. Oh, and it still worked. But he got, like, sucked out by the door. Because sometimes, if you get a little too close to the doors, they just kind of... They wheel you in. They grab, like... You know, like the... When you're on stage and the whole thing, like, they grab a cane and pull you off stage when you're bombing?
Yeah.
Something like that. Because he was bombing. He was bombing the switch. Eh?
So, Jedders did pick up Ether and his first bottle, as Futon grabs his second crystal.
Wow, look at all them Light World crystal dungeons completed. Yeah, deathFouton being kind of a snoozer. I mean, I'm excited to see a bottle, but I'm assuming for this tournament that doing like a fake flute in the overworld is allowed. That'd be about the only function. Well, you could do the potion glitch, or... Oh, nice ice rod here in Spec Cave. That's a good find.
Not necessarily needed in this one since Turtle Rock's a pendant, but you're still gonna grab it.
But it's a green pendant, JP.
Okay, fair enough.
It's green, like money. It's good. They want it. And you have Kana Samari already. It's like screaming T-Rock, right? Wow, another hint for hookshot. So that's actually really good for Futon since he hadn't gone into Eastern. But now he knows that there is potentially a required item at Pyramid Fairy, so that's good. That's good for him.
Alright, so I got Jedders finishing up on East Death Mountain. I see if he goes to Hera as well. Gonna grab a fairy on the way. And Futon's gonna clip over to East Death Mountain now.
Yeah, he'll check all this stuff over here and then more than likely grab his hammer to go through the Turtle Rock portal. And without the hookshot, he's only going to be able to check one item in Hookshot Cave, but who knows? That one item could just very well be the mirror, which would get him the hookshot. We don't know. So with these items in hand, what are you anticipating the next big item is going to be? I'm kind of hoping to see the mirror soon, so we see the hookshot. But at the same time, hookshot doesn't really do too much for us. We kind of need like a sword, because with these medallions, the sword could lead us into Misery Mire.
Yeah. Interesting to see what they're gonna do. They're running out of Light World locations at this point.
I mean, for Futon, I don't think he's been to the East Palace area at all, which is working out for him because he's not missing out on anything. There wasn't anything in there. There might have been something in the vanilla Big Key chest of Eastern Palace, but we unfortunately didn't get to see it on Jedder's side, as he took an unfortunate, untimely death. Oh, there was also powder in here. I didn't notice that. So that is one more thing that we can check at some point.
Actually, yeah, we have normal access to that right now with hammer and powder.
They could waste all their magic and do fake powder.
They could.
But I don't know why you do that. But yeah,
we do have
yeah, the front of escape. We haven't seen any of, like, because without a glove, haven't seen any of the back of escape either.
Well, with the lamp, you could grab a key from the front of escape, head to the back, and then do the front. I've seen runners do that.
That's true. Be a little risky, maybe. I don't know. I'm sure these players are going to just try and avoid escape at all costs. Because, I mean, when you have dungeons you could be visiting, you don't really want to do an optional dungeon.
That's
But
true.
also, at the same time, like, what dungeons could we do after this?
Well, Futon's gonna
Thieves'
clip.
Town? Yeah.
Futon's gonna clip up here. Get to Dark Death Mountain.
So does that mean did he do Spiral Cave? I might have missed that if he did. Futon?
He might have. Futon, you don't have a sword.
Futon, this isn't swordless, you silly. But that is confirmation that that ether that was in Paradise Cave is, of course, a pendant, and with Turtle Rock and Overworld glitches, oftentimes you don't even really need the medallion to get in there, because you can get in the halfway point, work your way backwards. Kind of hoping to see a sword soon. Just some more money. Lots of money.
Yeah. Well, that's about all you can do. You can't get into Hookshot Cave because no glove. Or wait, he might be able to clip in the other way, I think. I'm not sure how that clip works.
Yeah, it looks like that's what he's going to go for down here. It's pretty nifty. It makes perfect sense. It's so easy. I'm gonna need confirmation from chat, but is this actually in logic now? I've heard it is. I have also heard that it isn't yet. Because I mean, there's stuff like fancy stuff like mirror wrapping in the laser bridge that isn't in logic, so I'm never exactly sure. Oh, whoop! Futon's gonna be wishing he had that ice rod for that land molars fight. All right, what do we got? Just some bombs. That's unfortunate.
Jedder's taking on Moldorm. 2 hits on the tail.
Yeah, one more hit to go. Ooh, that was a little spicy. Especially being on the inside there. Could have easily taken a hit and fallen down that middle hole, which is the last thing. But he'll be finishing this dungeon out, getting his first crystal. I'm probably heading over to follow into the dark world of East Death Mountain. Looks like Futon is heading over to East Palace area. Let's see if he actually dives all the way in. I guess to him, he's thinking, you know, this is a 1v1 race. You got to remember, I bet my opponent did this. I wonder if my opponent, I should probably do this in case it's something. And at the same time, you don't want to leave Sphere 1 locations in the light world behind. That's too risky.
Exactly. So this will give Jedders a chance to make up some time if Futon does... Nope, he's just going to do Sahasa. Not going to go to Eastern.
I mean, it's going to work out for him, assuming there's nothing in there. But this is looking like he's going to be heading down to the Dark World, maybe? He could, if he wanted to, do all of Thieves' Town. Of course, we're still looking to see where those other 2 pendants are. They could very well be at... like, it's pretty odd. Oftentimes, you'll see a pendant Thieves' Town, so I'm kind of already anticipating it.
There's about a 42% chance we've got a pendant Thieves' Town. Actually, no, not quite, because we already know Turtle Rock is a pendant. So actually about a 33% chance that Thieves' Town is a pendant, and we're about to find out.
Okay,
It's
Mire and Swamp. Well, that makes things interesting. Well, Swamp being a pendant, this might be a seed where Mirror isn't actually required. Because, I mean, here's the thing. It depends on where the bow shows up, but if the bow shows up pretty soon, then that would put Pyramid Fairy in logic the normal way. Which would give you the hook shot. But at the same time, why they just hover? Just hover. Right?
Well, Futon going for a clip and heading down to the normal Dark World.
Yeah, it looks like Jedders is working their way into GT. Oh, wow. Okay. Another example of a clip that I was under the assumption that you needed spin or hook speed to acquire or to do. So this is new information for me. Let's see what we find in here.
Small key and a single rupee. Now, since Jedders hasn't cleared Land Molas, he doesn't have Cane, so he can't go to the right side yet.
And he can go a little bit of the ways in the left side, and by little, at least check this. But of course, these guys are good at the game. So we might be seeing some bonks, some bomb jumps to be able to check this side, because all this is locked by hookshot, which he knows where it is. So he knows he's not going to find, like... Well, he could find me over here.
Futon waiting for the hand to take him back.
I was kind of expecting Jedders to go for the bomb jump north to go to the Stalfos room, but it's like he's just going to head south to go through. Check this room. Looks like he's going to continue on his way to Randa room. All right, well, what's next? What is the next big thing we're going to find? I'm curious.
It's a good question. Definitely the bow. Need to get that hook. Most likely we'll need to get that hook shot at some point. I mean, if the runners could hover, they technically don't, but you want to still grab it anyway. Oh, no sword, Futon. Can't do that.
Yeah, that's an easy one to forget. It's one of the downsides about playing swordless, especially like Peg Cave. Because like hammer pegs, you usually like hammer dash to get by, but without a sword, you just bonk off of each one of them. All right, we're going to continue our way through GT while Futon's going to be heading down. He's probably going to go ahead and make his way through Thieves Town. He has the hammer to full clear all the checks in there, as well as 2 different weapons he could use on blind, hammer and Kina Samaria. Maybe he'll find a sword.
Well, let's see what Jedders finds in Randall room. Compass, 20 rupees, a map, and 20 rupees.
Wow.
And there's our 4th bottle at 36 minutes.
We got them all. Plenty of safeties. I'm just really curious to see when this first sword's going to pop up. Of course, this is normal difficulty, so there are 4 swords in the pool. Well, there are generally always 4 swords in the pool, but you get to keep all 4 swords.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the good and bad side about Overworld glitches, because you have so much access to stuff. I feel like more stuff can be in kind of mean places. I bet there's a sword in Turtle Rock. I put one there. Oh, wow. What a huge find for Jedders. Over here we find the glove. That's a pretty big deal. Of course, now he has to do, he's going to do a hammer ice armos. Oh, boy. That's good luck with that. That is not fun.
These just blue mail, they don't do much damage, but it's still going to take a bit of time.
Yeah, at this point, that glove is either logically locked behind that hookshot at Pyramid Fairy, or a fire rod, which we do not know about yet. But that's interesting. I wonder if that's like intended to be the myths, maybe? Because, you know, with there being 2 gloves in the pool, whichever one you get first is always going to be your first glove, but it could logically be the intended second glove.
Jedders' health's getting a little low. I think he has a fairy.
He does have a fairy. I think there was another fairy in a bottle. I think in Paradox Cave had a fairy in a bottle. So we had 2 empty bottles and 2 fairies in a bottle. I'm surprised. Usually we get at least like 3 Bs.
So, Jedders also has the Ice Rod. I think Ice Rod will do Fire Rod damage to these if he wants to use it, but he might be saving that for the red one.
I mean, if there ends up being something behind Ice Arm, oh my gosh, they're so good at dodging. If there ends up being something useful here, this is going to be a pretty big play for him. I mean, he's already feeling pretty good about finding that glove. Though, it's kind of like the good and bad about sequence breaking, is it might lead you down a different rabbit hole that might not benefit you at all, or it might benefit you tremendously. That's the fun part about sequence break. So,
yeah, I feel like in Overworld glitches, there's even more rabbit holes you can end up falling down. Just basically a prairie full of rabbit holes.
Oh, and unfortunately taking that death. Gonna use that fairy. Basically like playing like Punch Out. Like you get knocked down, but you're getting back up. But next time you get knocked down, it's count to 10.
Well, Futon's continuing through ice. Or not ice, what is it? Through Thieves Town.
Ice Thieves, so the same. Long, boring dungeons.
Blind on ice.
Down to 4 hearts. Down to 3.5 hearts. The hammer was just not built for this kind of fight. It just was not made for this kind of shenanigans. Okay, 3 more to go. 2 more to go. He's so close. I kind of hope that there's something here. Like, I mean, it's even possible for the bow to be here.
Unfortunately, that red guard will regain all its health.
Mm-hmm.
I said, I'm not sure if the ice rod does damage. If it does, I'd like to see him pull it out here.
I would switch to it right now. Okay, he might be good. He's in a situation where he can't take damage. Because Armos is a little dumb.
Yeah, he's got a good pattern going here.
Gosh, I couldn't imagine dying on the last one. That was so much.
He gets through it with half a heart. Let's see if it's worth it.
Quake. A small key.
So, maybe? It depends on what the Meyer medallion is?
Yeah, but at the same time, no sword means no Meyer access. We might be seeing Meyer at some point on Futon's side after Thieves Town. At least, like, the Meyer area and checking that stuff. But yeah, I would not count that as a win if I were that was Jedders right now.
Yeah, that's gotta be frustrating.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there really wasn't. I mean, I would count the glove as a. I would have bailed out the glove.
Yeah, good point. He did get the glove, which is good for him.
I mean, with the glove in hand, he can check like back of escape, checkerboard cave. Gosh, there's a few other things. He can even actually use the Dark World portal, so he doesn't have to clip down from Death Mountain now. So that's really good. Futon in the blind fight, utilizing both of his weapons, both Hammer and Samaria. Samaria strats are a lot of fun. I'm a big fan of Hammer Blind, but that's only because of spending like an hour one day just practicing that fight to do it as close to damageless as possible in preparation for a inverted swordless or some inverted shenanigans. But he takes him down. It's his 3rd crystal. Feeling pretty good.
Let's see what Futon's got next on his list. Meanwhile, Jedders looks like he's heading in the Village of Outcasts. He might have Thieves Town in his mind as well.
Yeah, of course, without that Cane of Samari, he's only going to have that hammer for the blind fight. But the nice thing is that glove might send him back to Desert to get the Cane of Samari at some point. We'll see. I mean, to him, he has a ton of stuff to do, and it's just one item. So Lamelas might not be on his mind right away.
Well, maybe we should start taking some guesses in chat when that first sword's going to show up. What time on the timer?
Right now. 30 digs or a heart container. I don't know. That was pretty close to 30. With one extra just to get you there. Well, we are going to head into the Mire area, check the 2 items in Mire Shed, and get eyes on the required medallion dungeon. Of course, without a sword, you can't go in there. So I'm sure for Futon, since it is a pendant dungeon, he'd probably prefer to not find a sword in Mire Shed. No, you had it right. Or no. Actually, no, I don't know how to do this clip into Mire. I usually go, like, further east. There you go. Neat.
Alright. Mire is a pendant, but let's see what medallion it is.
That looked like Quake to me.
I could
It was
barely
blurry.
Yeah, it was Quake.
There was a mess of stuff on screen, but that looked like Quake, so... Oh, and there's the mushroom. Gross. So we got some fetch quests to do. But, man, with that Quake medallion that hXcjedders just found, that might be pretty significant for him. Of course, without that sword, there's really nothing you can do about it yet. What the heck is this sword? Is there going to be like 2 swords in Hype Cave or something stupid?
Well, that might be where Futon's heading.
Ten arrows from Stumpy. I'm kind of curious to see where this other glove is going to show up. It's got to be showing up relatively soon, right? Maybe? Or what if the Bob's chest glove literally was the intended first glove? And the other one is locked by gloves somewhere.
Man, it's hard to say. They still have so much they can do that it really is hard to say what's intended and what's not.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if Futon's going to elect to head to pod at all.
Alright, Hype Cave up.
There's our sword. Okay. 46 minutes. We get our first one. And there's our second one. And the mirror. Oh my gosh. And a blue boomerang. That was a pretty Hype Cave. Futon's going to immediately go get his unique item out of Pyramid Fairy if I was to take a guess. Well, that is wild. It's really nice to find just swords in general. So, yeah, this is interesting. That now opens up both T-Rock and Meyer for hXcjedders once he gets his sword. So, of course, when you see those 2 Penda dungeons, you're like, I don't know. I don't know if I want to go there. I don't know, JP. I'm kind of anticipating Futon might go back up to Death Mountain with his hookshot to check Hookshot Cave and might consider, I don't know, popping into the front of T-Rock since he has access to one item at least in there. But at the same time, with these swords, he can now do a few more things. hXcjedders over on the side needs to be a little careful, down to half a heart. It's terrifying when you don't have any means. So he's going to bring out the ice rod. Just get the item. Just grab the item. Just get the item. Okay. Oh, wow. What a clutch refill.
Oh, nice timing on that heart refill. You know, Futon's trying to take a death here. He released his fairy. Remembered that.
Okay, that's good. Pyramid Fairy clip, or glitch, whatever you want to call it. Trick. Fancy thing is really neat. Basically, kind of hopping down and setting up a portal out in front of Hyrule Castle, taking a death warp, allows you to move to a different save and quit location, so like Death Mountain, Link's House, or Sanctuary, but it will retain that portal, as opposed to like actual saving and quitting and reloading the game will get rid of the portal. So it allows you just to walk up in here, and that's very low, Futon. That's a little low. Looks like I'm assuming he's trying to hit it just right, that'll allow him to just really pop out once he exits. Yeah, that's what it is. There's that hook shot that he didn't know about. He knew it was a unique item, but he didn't know it was a hook shot.
I'm gonna check the pyramid other item. It's just another 20 rupees. So right now, we need to find that bow. I think we need to find the fire rod.
Mm-hmm.
Do we need much else?
Bow, fire rod. We might need, well, with Swampy Independent, we could possibly skip needing flippers, because by logic you can get into Ice Palace without the flippers, but for these players, they're just gonna, more than likely, I'm sure at least with Futon's going to mirror wrap or do some sort of cheeky clip to get into Ice Palace without mitts or flippers. So yeah, we're kind of close.
Yeah, so you can get an Ice Palace without a glove, without flippers. So yeah.
I mean, of course, he'll still need a glove to at least finish the dungeon, because there is a couple big rocks throughout the dungeon.
You are right on that. So, but we do know where that glove is if he goes into Ganon's tower, and with that hook shot, I think that's in logic. So,
Yeah, I wonder what he's going to do after this.
Futon's going back into Hookshot Cave. Still no gloves, so he had to use the same path. Meanwhile, Jedders finished off blind, and he's got his second crystal. If Jedders heads over to Hype Cave, he'll be pretty happy.
Oh my gosh, another fetch quest item. we have like 3 of the worst ones. Wow, nothing else here in Hookshot Cave. So yeah, Bat Cave, Turn in Mushroom, check Shovel. Futon thinking about what he wants to do next. Now I feel bad because we've been kind of talking a lot about Futon, but he's kind of taken the lead and been in the lead the entire time, and he's showing us new information. We did see a lot of new stuff on Jetter's side with his trip into GT, and I would assume at this point Futon might be following suit. Oh, cool. We're getting a Graveyard Ledge check. We're getting a King's Tomb check. What a cheeky strat. So, yes, you are correct. He has 0 gloves. So why he was allowed to lift that rock, I don't know. Game's weird, man. Just accept it. Just roll with it. That's such a weird one to do. Not finding anything of value in there, but...
Yeah, I'm a little surprised Futon hasn't gone for GT yet. With Samario with hookshot... Well, actually, no, now that I think about it, he doesn't have Fire Rod. So right side, while he can do it, with the lamp, it's a pretty tricky... It's a pretty tricky trick to pull off.
I'm sure he's also probably banking on finding Bo at some point soon, so he'd be able to do all of GT. Because then he'd be able to do it without the Fire Rod. If he can do the bomb jump like you said, he'd be able to just full clear GT in one go. Nothing in Graveyard Ledge, so these 2 checks, though he managed to do them relatively quickly, not really panning out. I'd expect him now to be heading over to do some of the quests that he found, like Mushroom Turn-In. Might grab some potions, too, while he's here.
Jedders is heading into the Mire area. Gonna see that Quake is needed for Mire. Unfortunately, has not gone to Hype Cave yet, so no sword.
$50 for a mushroom. Some cheap drugs.
And he's gonna just use all of his money and buy potions.
Yeah. He's got a lot now.
Next up is Powder. Most likely he'll go from Powder to check the shovel.
So yeah, I guess the interesting thing is, I guess you only really need the glove for Ice Palace at this point. That's it? Like just a glove in general?
Yeah.
That's interesting. Where is that other glove? Where is it? Where is it? What is this on Jet? What is he doing? Is he...
I'm not sure what he's... Oh, he picked up the frog. Interesting.
Okay.
I'm not sure how he did that.
So,
It looked like
he overrolled YBA'd, which is drinking a potion at the same time you screen transition, which I guess scrolled the... I don't know. It did some fancy stuff. The only stuff I've seen for overrolled YBA and fake flute, like if you drink a blue potion as you screen transition, it activates flute, or like brings up the flute screen. But I didn't know that was a thing you could do. I didn't know that was a thing that was allowed. So neat. That was really cool.
Now, Jairus gave us our first look at the back of Escape, and 300 rupees and a piece of heart. Also got the small key. Gonna go for the Dark Cross chest. I think Futon's going for Turtle Rock.
Yeah, we're seeing a attempt to mirror wrap over to Laser Bridge. A little too early on the mirror. He's gonna have to wait this out a little bit. I also like that generally you can't take the blacksmith into like caves that have like multiple entrances, or dungeons. But if it's a dungeon that you like fall into, like fall down a hole into, you can continue through it. So you can bring the blacksmith to like Skullwoods, or we see here he's bringing him through the escape.
So in chat, Michael K gave us an explanation of how that worked, how Jedder was able to grab the smith. Said he YBA'd in my area, changing the collision to the Cave 45 Dark World screen and allowing him to get to the frog.
Neat. I'd never seen that before. That's really cool. Stealing that. I mean, it's a lot better than the other way of doing that I remember, which required some, like, wall clipping and a mirror, which, of course, Jedders doesn't have yet. I am surprised that he's doing all of this prior to going to Hype Cave. But at the same time, you know, items could be anywhere, so this could be the right move. I'm assuming at this point Futon's probably heading into GT now, based on how he's setting things up here. And because he does have that Master Sword now, he's going to have a lot easier time getting... Not only just because having a sword is convenient, but also if he can manage to keep his health up. He does have potions too. Master sword beams on Armos is relatively effective. Surprisingly effective for how awful sword beams are in general.
So Futon's heading right first. He'll get the small key over here. We'll see if he can at least do Tile Room if he wants to. He could, if he wants to do the bomb jump with the lamp, he could do all of the right side.
He was thinking about it. So I don't believe we saw the big key on Jedder's side when he was in here. So that leads Tile Room, Compass Room, which is past here, and the Stalfos Room for the remaining places that the big key could have been. As well as a significant amount of items.
So Futon's at least doing Tile Room. Let's see if he goes further than that.
He might put that off in hopes he finds the fire rod in here. I don't think we actually found anything in here other than potentially useless Quake.
Quake and Glove.
Oh yeah, the glove, of course. Sorry, that one is a pretty big deal. Jedder's now about to get both of his swords and his blue boomerang. Then I'm picking up just a heart piece. He's going to continue going right, so we are going to see this strat in here, which it's really cool. It's a little bomb jump that you can do, which allows you to light all the torches using the lamp as opposed to the fire rod.
So yeah, he's going to first clear out this room, get rid of all the enemies, and he's going to go through that door to set it up so when he drops down the pit, he'll come back to this door after lighting the first torch. Well, we did see Jedders pick up his mirror and his two swords. And I think he's going to be going for Pyramid Fairy as well now. So basically what we're watching Futon do is we're just watching him do a lot of setup right now and going to clear out everything he can.
Yeah, it's pretty rough because you have to get the pixel alignment down here by the left side of this pit without A, falling down, without B, getting shot by the Medusa head, and without C, getting grabbed by the Wall Master. It's a lot to juggle at once. Oh, and accidentally facing down. I don't know if he actually had it. So he's going for these nice little, like... Ooh, okay.
Oh, he's got it. He's got to light the torch
move.
quick.
He's got to move. Okay. Oh, I'm getting shot on his way up.
Okay, he's got the tough part down. Now he just needs to light those... Oh.
What? What happened?
He walked through the door, and I guess there was an enemy back.
Why did he go up?
Oh, yeah, that was
Oh no, that
that
sucks.
was unfortunate.
How do you? I'm very confused. What happened? He must have been holding up or something. And it looked like on Jedder's side he was potentially set up to go into GT, maybe. Or no, he was probably going for Pyramid Fairy, but might have messed something up and got stuck.
All right, Futon's second attempt. Got the jump.
Oh gosh. All right, now he's got to move quick. It's a pretty tight window. Oh,
he
just
got
barely, just barely making it through. Holy cow! Well done. All right, we don't need no fire rod except to beat Skull Woods. Yeah, that's not gonna work. Nice utilizing those that boomerang to stop the Gibdos in their tracks. Surprised he didn't use Samari at all to hit the switch, but probably just conserving magic.
I got piece of heart, 20 rupees, piece of heart, and a blue rupee. So that means the big key is in the Stalfos room.
Mm-hmm. He's more than likely going to mirror out here. Save that key. Head all the way full left. Well, I believe this is Jedder's first trip over to Escape, the front of Escape at least, so he's going to get his third bottle, and then we might actually see Escape finally. I imagine if it had a sword the whole time.
So Futon heading into the Stalfos room. We're gonna get a big key plus 3 other items.
There's a single arrow. Oh, big 20. I'm kind of anticipating... if Futon decides he could... Because I know I've seen him do it before. He could do the Mimic Clip to skip the bow requirement to complete GT. So he might be actually finishing this entire dungeon in one go. We'll see.
Yeah.
We are, of course, also going to get to see what's in that GT big key or big chest. We did not get to see the first time. There's Kana Burna, which Jedder's, I'm sure, was wishing he had that for that Ice Arm fight, because that makes that fight a little bit easier. All right, well, we still have some new information coming up on Jedder's side, but let's talk about some stuff. We need a few things. We need some things.
We need the bow, and we need the
fire rod.
Or the fire rod.
The fire boy. Those are the two big ones that there's the fire rod in Escape, so that's really nice. That's gonna work out for Jedder's quite well. That will allow him to do Skull Woods, and gosh, I mean, with that information now, Turtle Rock is completely doable. Ugh.
That is like one of those places where it was available so early. I almost got to wonder if Futon's not going to go back there for a while. Just thinking, if something's there, then I'm in trouble anyway.
I'm kind of anticipating that, assuming he does full clear GT, he might mirror. Like, if he does full clear it, finish it, beat Aghanim 2 and all that stuff, you know, land on the pyramid, mirror, do Escape right then and there, and just kind of route that whole thing in one go.
That's true.
Just 10 arrows from the big chest. But yeah, we'll have to see. I mean, it's not a bad place for a fire rod or for a required item to be. It could have been in, like, you know, Pendant Mire, you know, some pendant dungeon that stinks. Futon now also picking up his first glove. Jedder's just barely getting into that Pyramid Fairy. I was worried that he was like, that portal was a little bit too high. He did place it kind of right on top of that little, I don't know, orange tree or something, but that might have been intended.
Futon's debating his weapon of choice. He's going with Ice Rod.
I think he might, yeah, he might do some spins a little bit. The nice thing is, like, if you hit one of the Armos before they actually get set up in their normal pattern, then they just stay put and just keep hopping in plays like a bunch of idiots. So as long as you continuously keep them out of their pattern, okay. It's pretty easy, pretty comfortable just to sit here and hit them, wail on them for a while. Honestly, with how many potions he has, I'm surprised he's not just using his Ice Rod and then using Sword Beams.
Well, you see Jedders set up a clip to swim somewhere you usually don't see.
Yeah, this is a way to get to the hammer pegs without needing mitts. And of course he can hammer dash now that he has that sword. Let's see if this works out for him pretty well. So at this point, we're just looking for that bow. That's pretty much about it. There's still some other items that might lead us into other directions, but bow is all we really need. There's 10 arrows, pretty close.
Seen plenty of arrows, but no bow.
Mm-hmm. Now, this seems pretty slow for Futon, but we remember the Jedders did this entire fight with just hammer, which was was really slow. But all right, I like this. So Futon is doing a little dash while holding his sword out, which because normally if you just hold your sword out, you would poke him, and pokes don't really do that much damage, at least with the Master Sword. So doing a little dash will kind of make it. I believe it just does the full like normal Master Sword / damage. Maybe. I don't know. The damage table for swords are kind of weird, but yeah, it looks like we are going to see this Mimic clip coming up, which is going to be sweet. I'm excited to see this.
Yeah, 4 more items on the climb if we can get through these Mimic rooms.
Yeah. So I don't really have any way of explaining this because I still don't really understand how it works, but basically you're kind of tricking their collision detection to force them to just kind of walk through walls. And it's just a series of like left movements. I don't know. Futon made a video. I need to go watch it, but it looks like he almost had it. Oh, you got one, and there's the other one. All right, wow, just like that. Now you have a bowless GT climb. Interesting. Dude, what if the bow's up here, JP? Wouldn't that be wild?
I don't think the bow can be up here, at least. I don't think this is considered in logic, but...
No. Imagine. But yeah, this is going to save him some time. I mean, he's going to be able to finish this, which will give him access to Ganon. So then it's literally just a matter of finding that bow. And, well, for him, Fire Rod. But yeah, this might hopefully sends him in the right direction to a mirror to check escape.
Yeah, I think in his mind he's hoping... He knows that the bow won't be here, but he doesn't know where Fire Rod is, so he's hoping that maybe that's here.
And I'm sure he's probably also would be very happy to find another sword upgrade or just anything, because he's now a little bit of trouble with the plant rooms. But to be fair, Stalfos are kind of jerks.
I got, we're on Jedder's side. He's in the Dark Death Mountain area. He checked Hookshot Cave, checked Super Bunny Cave. I don't think he dipped into Turtle Rock.
Yeah, let's see what he does. He's got some options while he's up here. He could clip down to Catfish. He could flute away. Okay.
He's going to do his fetch quests.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Guys just don't want to go to Catfish.
Yeah, he does have the mushrooms just turned in. He'll get his rupees. He also has that shovel, which Futon is not checked.
Futon saving his magic for the next rooms and just using spins on these guys. He does have that ice rod if you want to use that, but he'll willingly take the time loss in order to salvage some of his magic. I mean, that's the thing, though. He doesn't really have to worry too much about magic. He doesn't have the... So he just has the lamp to do the torch room, so... Conserving magic isn't really as important. Especially when you get a full magic drop just right there. He could have done it! Looks like we are going to see the remainder of Skull Woods over on Jetter's side. I don't actually recall how many, if at all, items we saw in here on Futon's screen, so who knows? Could find something important here. Of course, Fire Rod being an escape. Oh, was that close to the GT despawn, or?
Yeah, that was close to GT despawn.
Ooh. It's one thing you don't want to do. Never go up that stairs while the at the same time the torch. Oh my god. Okay. Here they are.
Both gloves and GT.
That's not something you see every day. Holy cow. That's amazing. Well, that's gonna be nice. I mean, now you don't have to worry about doing any cheeky wraps into Ice Palace. You can just fake flipper over there. So that's gonna work out pretty well.
Got Jetters going in the back of Skull Woods as Futon takes on Moldorm 2.
Yeah, I mean, the other nice thing about being able to skip that, well, apparently there's other ways to get into Ice Palace that I'm not aware of, but the one I do know is a very scary mirror wrap that easy to mess up and could have you running for days. Man, where's this bow gonna be at? I'm concerned. I mean, we have access to both Pendant, Mire, and T-Rock. Very easily could be in there. I think at this point, the last thing any of these players want to see is Nobody wants to see them, because then that would put Swamp into play. Nobody wants to go to Swamp.
Yeah, you want those flippers buried as deep as possible.
Mm-hmm. Nice Agatu fight. Pretty quick. And that is a full clear GT.
Now, if, as you were saying earlier, if Futon mirrors here, goes into the front of Escape, he'll get his Fire Rod.
I mean, I can't imagine why he wouldn't. He's right here. There's never going to be a time he's going to be in this general... Okay. Never mind. There's also the whole, well, I don't want to do Escape, so I'm just never doing it. Because that's such an easy mindset to have. Like, you put off something so long that you're just like, if there's something there, then it's over, kind of thing. I mean, of course, I wouldn't be thinking that at this stage of this race, but
he might be thinking Pendant Swamp or Pendant Mire now.
I think this might just, I don't know. I think this might just be a checkerboard check. I mean, when you have Pendant Pod, or Crystal Pod that you could dip into, yeah, still have some Overworld spots, and he can go do all of Ice Palace. I would not go into a Pendant Dungeon yet. Oh my god! Okay, all right. Well, there's the bow. We have all the information we need. Oh, that's kind of. I mean, that's good. It's gonna be worse if Futon ends up finding like the flute in. Or not flute, the flippers in like pod or something.
Yeah,
so...
now with that bow, this makes perfect sense. He's gonna go full clear Eastern and pod, which we know he's not gonna find stuff there. But yeah, as you mentioned, if he finds flippers, that could be bad for him.
Yeah, it's such an unfortunate scenario because, like, had he just done escape when he was there, he'd be in go. Like, he would be just, he'd be getting his bow in a couple minutes, and he would have just been in go mode at like the 116, 117 mark. Now he has a full clear of pod, full clear of Eastern because he wasn't here the first time, and yeah, very easily he might full clear Ice Palace and bank on Bombos leading to Fire Rod and Ice. At this point, he has 3 crystal dungeons he can full clear. 4 he can finish if you. Oh no, he can't do Skull Woods. So it might be a while before he heads into escape. And over on hXcjedders' side, he still has that Cane of Samaria, which is sitting at Land Molas. And it'll be a little bit easier for him to go do that now that he has, Glove and Fire Out on his mind. Oh my god!
Oh, that is bad for Futon.
There they are. In the first chest, so this is completely bow-locked Palace of Darkness, but wow, that is the worst thing to see.
So
I feel like we jinxed it, JP.
Yeah. So on Jedder's side, though, he's in a very interesting position. If he goes to finish Desert and does checkerboard while he's there, he'll be in go mode.
Mm-hmm. Of course, he's still. It depends on if he like mirror wraps or clips his way into Ice Palace. Since we know where those mitts are, it depends on how he finds his way in. If he needs a, then he'll have to go up and do GT first. But yeah, he's got a pretty good straight shot to that go mode if he just heads to Desert. But he's gonna check some more Overworld stuff first. I'm curious to see. Well, no, he doesn't have the flipper, so he couldn't go to Catfish. But well. The siege just got interesting.
Yeah, for Futon, you've gotta hope he does not do Swamp before checking the front of Escape. But yeah, as you mentioned, at this point, he's likely doing the 3 crystal dungeons he can do first.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, it's kind of one of those things where it's like, as I said earlier, either I've put it off this long, so I'm just never doing it, or I would assume after he does these crystal dungeons that he can do, he might finally be like, all right, I've put this off long enough. It's like Sphere 1. I should go do this because it's a good chance my opponent did it. But full clearing all these dungeons is gonna eat up a lot of his time and might allow Jedders to catch up. I mean, he's not too far behind.
I mean, the only difference really between them in crystal count and boss count is Futon's cleared GT, Jedders hasn't.
Mm-hmm.
Beyond that, they've each cleared one different dungeon that the other hasn't, but yeah.
This is looking like Jedders is about to get his bow here in a second.
And if Jedders goes... maybe not. He's going to check Shovel first.
Shovel first, okay. But yeah, he'll route all this in. This is interesting.
Can't dig with a mirror.
A lot of hmms. Nice hammer jump over on Futon's side. A few select buffers there, but we got over there. That's all that matters.
All right. Nope.
He might go do Desert 2 first, clipping down from above, and then hop over and do checkerboard. It really doesn't matter which way you do it, as long as you do it.
So, yeah.
I guess the only thing we're looking for would be like a tempered sword.
Tempered sword would be nice.
Red Mill's pretty good. Got some pink Luigi action. Both players do have the silver arrows, so even if they're stuck doing Master Sword Ganon, at least they'll have the silver arrows to kind of make things a little bit easier, at least phase. And the Fire Shield, wow. A lot of red.
Just need a red sword now.
Just need a red sword. Okay. Well, I'm very curious to see how the rest of the seed goes. Jedders is going to be taking out Landmole, getting another crystal, and not only that, grabbing his Cane of Samaria. He'll probably be grabbing his bow from Checkerboard Cave right away afterwards, which, as we said, would put him in go mode, depending on his ability to get into Ice Palace. I don't want to assume nothing. I could just sit here and assume both these players know how to do literally everything in this game that's Overworld glitches. I'm seeing stuff that I've never seen before, mostly just the collision removal thingy to do blacksmith without any gloves, but I don't want to assume. But yeah, with Bow and Cane of Samaria, I'm curious if he would go straight to finish Eastern and do Pod, or if he'd go up and finish GT, because that would give him the remaining items that he needs to do GT. So. Ooh, unfortunate. With that hammer usage, kind of swapping him back over. The stupid turtles. And Jetter's about to finish up the Landmole's fight. What a cool seed. I don't remember if I've ever seen 2 gloves in GT before. It's a pretty rare sight to see, especially one. So you had to get 1 glove to technically go get the bow from Checkerboard Cave to then go back to GT to get the other glove.
Yep, that was about how the seed intended it. Jedders has his 4th crystal, has his cane. If he goes to the right. He's floating away.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh,
no, he's not.
Where's he going? Okay, well, the lead has shifted back to Futon's side.
So,
gosh, I mean, he's taking that Cane of Samaria and running with it is what it looks like. And I mean, you're looking at it, you're like, okay, I have. Oh, this is gonna. Oh, I don't know. If he's going into GT, is what it looks like. Because he's probably considering that compass room. I don't know if he knows how to do the mimic clip shenanigans, but
yeah, if he knows the mimic clip, he could at least get his Titan's Mint, which would definitely help him for ice.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll see. He's got the compass room and he's got the Stalfos room to check still, as well as tile room.
Yeah. We'll have to wait and see. So a little mini recap. At this point, we have 2 items that we're looking for each player. The Fire Rod for Futon, which is sitting in the, I believe it was the Boomerang chest in Escape. And hXcjedders is looking for the bow, which we saw at Checkerboard Cave, which he was right next to, and unfortunately fluted away. I mean, the nice thing is you can, from that spot, as you exit out Desert, go to the right and do like an upwards clip to just walk over to Checkerboard Cave. So it's not a hard one to get to from his position where he was at, but I don't blame him. You just got a progression item that opened up some junk. So you're like, I'm going to act on this immediately and hope that that's like the next thing you go do.
Yeah, races like this always just tend to be a little agonizing because it's like you know what the runners need, you know what you want them to do. You're almost screaming at them to go do what you want them to do, and of course they don't have this knowledge, so they keep on doing what they think is right. And in many of their minds, of course, in this moment, these are the right moves to be making. These are the moves that are the most likely to get you a win. Mm-hmm. We just know they're not the right moves.
It's like watching a Let's Play on YouTube, and you're yelling at them to do stuff in the comments, but they already recorded like 4 or 5 episodes, so they're not even going to get that information for a while.
Yeah.
All right, we are going to see what was back here. It was just a map, so as we recall earlier in the race, Jedders was going through Eastern Palace, died trying to get that chest, so But at this point, he'll be in go mode before he ever comes back here, so he won't need to check it anyway.
So Futon is heading towards the Armos Knights. They do have an item. Whatever it is, we really don't need it. Though it could still be something that'll throw Futon off. Though I think the only other item that could throw him off at this point is the book.
Oh gosh, let's hope we don't see that for anyone. Nobody likes to do book.
He also did get that cape, which puts like Spike Cave into logic.
Hmm. Yeah, that's true. I'm pretty sure he's just gonna keep on hitting up these crystal dungeons until he finishes them. So, Pod, Eastern, and then he's probably gonna go straight to Ice. He might consider doing some more overworld stuff, or I don't know, maybe even somehow for some reason go to Escape. Who knows? The unfortunate thing for Jedders is he might.
Yeah, he's likely gonna. He's gonna loop around and go to the big chest, most likely.
Yeah, which is kind of unfortunate. Oh, maybe. Okay, yeah. Of course, we saw it earlier. It was only 10 arrows, so no big deal. All right, what's the next move, Futon? Yeah, Ice Palace straight away. I am the type, I've personally subscribed to the whole Vamos leads to Fire Rod in Ice Palace. So I've seen it a couple times, and now I'm just have this confirmation bias that won't leave me alone.
I mean, there's also 3 hints in here that could send him on the right path if he gets lucky.
Yeah, let's hope he actually checks them, just because they're interesting to see anyway. Oh, okay. Well, there's your Tempered Sword, guys. Mimic Cave. That's really useful to find out. That might be the most useful hint we'll get in here. I mean, we already got a hint that just said, like, Hookshot is in this place. I don't know what the odds are of finding another hint that says Fire Rod is in Hyrule Castle, or something like that.
There's the big key to start. Jedders picks up his 10 arrows. If he goes upstairs, it looks... Nope, he's going to save and quit, so he doesn't know that clip.
Alright, what's the next big move? I mean, here's the thing for Jedders. He could... Without that bow, he knows that Ice Palace isn't in logic. Well, without the mitts, he knows that Ice Palace isn't in logic, right? So at this point, he really just has Overworld and then 2 pendant dungeons. So, and that's the tough decision, is like, do I check more Overworld or do I do more pendants?
Well, looks like he's going back to Dark World.
Yeah, at this point, he might be heading over to the Mire area, which... Let's see. Before I say anything, let's just watch and see what he does.
He's heading east.
He is going into Ice Palace, alright. So we are going to get both players in Ice Palace, so... This is a very particularly tricky mirror wrap, assuming he's doing it the way I think he is. So he has spin speed set up. He needs to hit, like, right where the diagonal hits the vertical, right at the corner there, and kind of walk your way into that. You kind of pop up there. It's really tricky, kind of annoying. At least that's the way that I've done it. I guess this is... I mean, I think all you have to do is just get up here. Okay. This might be... I never know if it's like they're doing it a different way, or if they're doing it wrong. I'm never sure. Because, I mean, there are several ways to... Oftentimes there are, like, multiple ways to accomplish the same goal when it comes to glitches, so...
Alright. So I don't know if he's going to give us another try, or if he's going to move on. He might be giving it another try. The
other question is, where is our 4th sword at this point? We had 2 in Hype Cave. We know 1 is in Mimic Cave. We have no idea where the 4th one is. Okay. I believe that is what? 2 items in Ice Palace so far?
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if Futon's just going to go straight for Cold Stare. Nope. Don't blame him. The last thing you want to do is skip an item in Ice Palace because he ain't ever going back there. Alright, let's hope Jedders gets this. I can't imagine actually like racing Overworld glitches because I suck at like clipping or like buffering to the right. Such a pain. Okay, so this is a different way to do it. Or I'm just gonna watch. Okay, no. It's the same way, just a different means of getting to this position, I guess. Okay, run over here, then you walk up a bit, but not too far. Then you walk to the right. Scroll a bit. This looks... It looks like he's got it. It looks wild, but he's got it. Okay. That's... and now he's in Ice Palace. Just like that, guys. I hope I explained it really well. He's got a potion,
yeah.
right?
I think he does. Yeah, he's got potions. As he's getting in, Futon's taking on Cold Stare.
Yeah, and that's the thing is, after Cold Stare, what's the next play for Futon? Where's he off to next?
I mean, people talked about it. With that sword hint, he might go for Turtle Rock.
Yeah. I mean, fortunately, without the Fire Rod, he's going to miss out on being able to do some things in Turtle Rock, but still spend a lot of time checking a lot of stuff. Personally, I'd kind of be at the point, after doing all these dungeons, I would go back on, like, Light World stuff, like Sphere 1 stuff, because you gotta be thinking that your opponent's probably done it, and if it's there, then you should go there. But it also is really easy to go with the thought process of, if it's there, then I've already lost.
Yeah, exactly.
But I don't know, every time I like go with that mentality, usually it's like, oh, I should have just not done what I was thinking and done the opposite.
Alright.
And it would have been close, but moment of truth. Let's see where he goes. Oh!
He's going to Swamp.
Oh! He's
Or
checking
maybe
shovel.
not. Okay.
I was hoping he was going to go up. But yeah, this is looking like he's going to check his shovel, and then, yeah, we'll see what he does next. Come on, Futon, it's right there. Just go to the thing. How do you not know? Gotta wait for it to go. Yeah, there you go. Okay. All right, moment of truth again. Ooh, all right.
Yeah.
All right, we're up Death Mountain.
This is Turtle Rock.
Turtle Rock, Spike Cave. Got some options. And then, you know, you could also clip down and do Catfish. But I mean, it's okay for him as long as his opponent continues doing other stuff aside from... What does he have to do? Oh yeah, Checkerboard Cave. That one's such an easy one to forget, especially with gloves being as late as they were. They were really late.
So yeah, he's gonna grab that sword, get his tempered sword.
I guess that was a bad hint for him, taking him in the wrong direction. Unique item is in Desert Palace. Oh wow, thanks. Well, if he hadn't done finished well, that could have been just Bombos. Could have been referring to Bombos. So
that's true. There were 2 unique items in Desert.
Mm-hmm. Nice little hammer dash to get out of Mimic Cave. So Futon has already been here once before. He did go to Laser Bridge. As it appears, only had a map and a compass and 2 items, so there's still 3 more items left in this dungeon.
It's also worth remember he can't complete this. He doesn't have Fire Rod, so he can't kill Trinex or do the right side.
Yeah, so he knows that Green Pendant's not going to lead to anything. So fortunately for him, it's not going to be a very long trip through T-Rock, but it's still a trip through an unrequired T-Rock. Oh, little Luigi. I think he momentarily didn't realize they needed a small key for this. Yeah, and unfortunately for Jedders, kind of going the, I don't know, the higher chest dense section of Ice Palace, which unfortunately all the items were on the other side of Ice Palace, so adding a little bit longer to his trip through this dungeon.
So for those of you who kind of are a little tuned in a little late, wondering what's going on, basically at this point, each runner is 1 item from go mode. Futon needs to go pick up the Fire Rod that's in the front of Escape. Jedders needs to go pick up the bow in Checkerboard Cave.
And right now, Futon's down to just 2 items left. He can check this item coming up in the roller room, the crystal roller room, and then, unfortunately, either needs to backtrack again through Chain Chomps to get to the front to check that chest, or leave T-Rock and go through the front door.
Might be going for the front door. We'll see. Joe's just grabbing some magic for the cold stare fight.
Yeah, I don't think he has any more magic or any more potions, but fortunately he does have Bombos and Fire Rod, so he can open things up with Bombos and then have some Fire Rod shots left over to couple with his Master Sword to make the fight a little bit easier.
Alright, here's Jetter's cold stare fight. Breaks the shell. Corner those puffs. Didn't get any Fire Rod shots in there. Gonna start using it now.
Taking a few extra hits. And Cold Stare does quite a bit of damage if you touch his face. Even with Blue Mail down to 2 hearts, he does have a blue potion, okay. Yeah, this fight was getting a little bit out of the way. He is going to be close to finishing, just a few more hits. And he will be grabbing his, what, 5th crystal?
Yep.
So all he needs, the only dungeons he have left, is just Armos and then all of Pod. But he needs to find that bow first. And yeah, Futon just needs Fire Rod for Skull Woods.
Yeah, it really is down to who finds their item first. Futon's got a little more time because he's already beaten GT and has 6 crystals.
Mm-hmm.
So if Jedders finds his item first, Futon will have a little more time after that.
Yeah, Futon's still kind of a bit in the lead just because of what he's been able to accomplish.
This is not good for Jedders. I think he's going to dip into Pod. He's going to know it's bow locked right away. So he should leave right away. But he's going to get the flippers.
Yup. This is not good. Flippers in the first chest is... Well, we are going to see what's at Spike Cave, though. Just up at 20. The thing is, and it's kind of unfortunate, but I'm almost thinking that maybe Jedders forgot about Checkerboard Cave, thought he already did it, because I just can't think of any reason why he wouldn't have done it after Desert. Unless it was just a, oops, I forgot because I just got Samaria, so I was thinking about Samaria stuff in GT. kind of thing, because he's like, oh, I could have done this like really early, etc., etc. And it looks like Futon is heading to Misery Mire at this point. I really love this super jump. It looks so goofy. Oh, he's going to Swamp. All right, well, I was wrong, guys. I was very wrong.
All right, what's Jedder's move? Is he gonna go to Swamp as well?
That would be funny to see both of them going to Swamp. Do it and
Went
not
to
require
4.
dungeon at the same time.
I think he's going to Swamp as well.
Oh my gosh.
So, a long time ago, we did get a hint about Swamp that it's a big
true.
key in cache on the left side.
Aw. Pretty much, I think that's it for the hints. I mean, unless these guys end up going into Misery Mire.
So we're gonna sit back and watch them both do Swamp, because we know they're not gonna find... The only thing I think they can find in here that might be useful is another sword.
Mm-hmm. I'm just waiting for that book to pop up, though. Just waiting.
I mean, this
yeah.
wouldn't be the worst timing for the book, at least, because one of the spots is right next to you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. I guess. I mean, the nice thing is we did, as you were saying, we did get a hint for this dungeon. Cache in the Swamp Palace big key on the left side swamp, so as long as we don't see both map and compass in their normal route, then these players will be able to skip that left side, unless they really want some cash. So we'll see if this dungeon is generous or if it's going to be a big jerk.
I mean, we know both run. Well, I mean, without the hint, both runners are going to be heading to the back first because you're only looking for one item. Though with it being a pendant, if you didn't have the hint, you might full clear it anyway. It's tough to say.
Well, I mean, at least the nice thing for Futon is he knows that Fire Rod isn't like on the pedestal or anything like that. So he doesn't even have to. I mean, he's still going to kill Argus because it's more than likely going to have an item. But
yeah. But yeah, for Jedders though, that bow on the pedestal is a real possibility.
Mm-hmm. This is just funny. This is just really funny. Hey, a map! Hey, a book! Gross. Alright, cool. Well, that's just gonna add more stuff. There's literally nothing that's gonna take, it's gonna... Oh, gosh, and there's the stupid compass, so... More than likely gonna have to check left side. Yeah. Gosh. I mean, here's the thing. For Jedders,
yeah,
he's got the mire area to kind of check stuff. That's like having mire in general is going to put him in that area to make hopefully eventually go to Checkerboard Cave. There's really nothing that's going to send Futon to escape at this point. Like, I don't even know if he checked back of escape either.
I don't think he did. And he's still got things like the Smith chain to check. So there's still other items in his mind. Jedders, you know, maybe he didn't get this hint for left side swamp because he's doing left side swamp, which will work out for him in the end because if he was probably gonna full clear it anyway. So this will actually be a little faster for him. I think full clearing swamp versus coming back in is slightly faster. Still feels bad though.
Oh yeah. So I don't think you can mirror out in a Dark World dungeon before grabbing the prize. I think you can in a Light World, but not in a Dark. Maybe. I don't know. It's weird because it's also been like changed slightly. Can you mirror out with if it's a crystal? I'm just curious why. I'm sure Futon was trying to mirror because he knows he doesn't need that pendant.
Well, there's the cash. Just you grab the big key next.
I mean, I think all things considered, even if Jedders was to, he'd probably end up doing all of Meyer before checking Checkerboard Cave, maybe? Though, who knows? Maybe going into mirroring to go check Bombos might make him... But he still does have to do all of Pod, finish up Armos, and then finish the Gauntlet, but... While Futon, all he has to do is kill Moth and then go to the pyramid, and that's it, so...
Yeah, Futon's definitely got a significant lead. I think Cheddar's trying to bless the chest.
Just finding a heart piece in there, so...
That's a new way of trying to get some good RNG. Throw powder on it first.
Bless this chest. I'm also wondering if Jedders did get the sword upgrade hint. That was in Ice Palace, correct?
That was.
It was in.
Yeah.
It was like.
It was the first hint in Ice Palace. I'm pretty sure.
Oh,
he got
okay.
it.
Yeah, so he knows that's there. You know, actually, I think Jedders did get the hint for Swamp anyway, and when you know where the big key is, it might...
What's he doing?
Did you not go south? Oh, he didn't go south. He just ran right by it. He's gotta get his book. But yeah, if you know where the big key is, I guess it's almost faster. I mean, it ended up being faster for him to just and do left side into the back, so he didn't have to double dip in. But yeah, it would have been the majority of people would probably just hope that there's a map or compass in the big chest.
Alright, Futon is gonna grab his piece of heart. Let's see where he goes next.
God, these players have to be so frustrated right now. Alright. Not checking book. Oh?
You going to 4.
Oh, God.
And he's saving you.
Come on, Futon, you're killing us. Killing us. He's checking the back first. No, he's thinking about escape. This is good for him. But he's going to the back first because it's 3 really quick items, but this is so funny. This is good for Futon. Now here's hoping that Jedders, with that book, checks Bombos and thinks, oh, Checkerboard Cave. And both players hit go mode at the same time. Of course, if that's the case, then Futon's still in quite a bit of a lead just because of how much he has completed at this point. And a trip just to take out Mothio will be real quick. That was so funny, though. I'm gonna flute to 4. I'm gonna save and quit. Okay. He's gonna get his bug net in the back here while Jedders does get his pendant. Let's see where he's off to next. When Futon eventually gets his fire out, he's gonna be thinking, man, check this right after GT.
Alright, Jedders is going towards Bombos. And Futon goes to Sanctuary.
Oh no, okay. He's gonna go check Ether. You were so close! Nice heart container on Bombos.
Are you gonna go North, Jedders?
And gone. All right.
Nope, he's gonna
Bo.
take the other tablets.
Oh. I mean, here's the nice thing. It's really quick and easy to go ahead and check both these tablets. It's real fast, but my goodness. All right, well, Futon's got nothing left except Blacksmith Chain, Mire, Escape, and he is actually going to go do Blacksmith. Unreal. I can't believe he just did the back of Escape and nothing else. That's so funny. That's such a weird thing to do. Because, I mean...
These runners are just... But they're both teasing us.
He knows there's only 2 items left in Escape, because he got the small key. He didn't get the map. But he's got, well, and he's got Blacksmith, Hammer Pegs, and then Purple Chest. So,
Meanwhile...
I mean, he's still going to end up being fine, because Jedders is all of T-Rock from the beginning.
Yeah, Jedders is going to Turtle Rock.
So I'm not 100% sure what kind of format this tournament has, as I'm seeing I'm assuming it's still a best of 3, but I think they're in the group stage, so not brackets yet.
Yeah, they are in the group stage right now. This is actually a matchup from Group A, which only has had 1 match so far. Jedders is 0-1. Futon, this is his... Actually, no, I think Futon did a match yesterday.
Okay, I'm getting confirmation that groups are just 2 matches each. Yeah, I was like, because whenever I see like the Triforces or whatever that marks how many times they've won, I always assume it's best of 3, because you don't really use it for just counting if you're just doing, you know, some number of matches. But I guess that works too. Yeah, so group stage is very early. The tournament literally just started, like, I think it started on first matches were like Tuesday or something, maybe.
Futon's gonna clip up to check Bombos now.
I'm assuming he's going to do literally everything before, which is hilarious and extremely unfortunate. All right, is he fluting to 8 or 4? Okay, he's going to 4. He said, I've done 2 penny dungeons for literally no reason. I'm not doing a 3rd.
And he's finally on track.
Oh, man. I was so looking forward to this interview. I mean, here's the thing. He's still going to get sub 2. That's pretty good. Right? Right?
It's going to be close to sub 2.
Oh, it can't be that long to go kill Mothula and then... I mean, he still has to run back to the pyramid since he doesn't have that save and quit. Since he didn't beat up Aghanim.
Yeah, I don't think he'll be quite sub 2.
He's got to go quick.
Futon's going to have collected every unique item in the game except for the red boomerang.
Which we haven't seen yet, so I'm assuming it's in Mire. Jedders now picking up their Tempered Sword. Remember, we did get a hint for that in Ice Palace. Tempered Sword's just really nice and comfy. And Futon is 1 hour, 54 minutes, and 12 seconds in go mode with that Fire Rod. He was right there. It was right there, but at the same time, both players had plenty of other stuff he could do, and, you know, we joke a lot, but yeah, it's a randomizer. Things could literally be anywhere, as long as they're logically where they should be. Like, no Ice Rod on Trinex, etc. So, you can't really blame a player for doing literally everything else. It's just unfortunate that it happened. I mean, I guess you could have thought, wow, Kakariko literally had just a hammer, that's it. So maybe there's more stuff to do in the light world? Boy, that's that dang flippers, man.
I got at this point. I gotta imagine Futon's just sitting there like, why isn't there a clips for me to get into the back of Skullwoods?
Right? That's the fun part about like entrance shuffle. If you find the back of Skullwood, bomb jump with the lamp, like right side GT. You don't even need a fireman. I don't know. This is looking like a sub 2, JP. I mean, how long is Tempered Silver Ganon? Like what? A minute and a half?
It also depends on how nice Mothula plays, but I feel like he's gonna be getting out of here at about 157 at the earliest.
It's gonna be
Probably
close.
a little after 157.
He's gonna end up with like a 2:00 to 10 or some seconds afterwards.
Oh, hXcjedders takes a death to those chain chomps.
I'm not sure. Well, I mean, yeah, he does have a mirror, so he can just mirror. He doesn't need to take a death warp, so I don't know if that was intended or not. But he did go through the front half, so I think he's good. So
There's the last crystal for Futon. He'll be getting out of here about 156.45. Yeah, it's gonna be very close. It's gonna be very close. It's gonna depend on Ganon warps. If he can one cycle the first two phases. And for those of you who want to do your big key guessing game, we already kind of did it, and it was 22.
So yeah, at the end of the day, Futon did. I'm very curious to see what his collection rate's going to be at the end of this. But the only thing he didn't do was Mire and Blacksmith Chain, right?
He did the blacksmith chain.
Oh, he did.
Didn't
okay.
do Mire.
So just Mire and one chest in Skullwoods.
He also didn't do a few in Turtle Rock. And I'm not 100% sure what Futon's doing here. He's
doing the Pyramid Fairy clip to get there, which is significantly slower. Especially... What is he doing? Guys?
I don't know what he's doing right now. He's got the pyramid open.
He's going the long way around. I have no idea. It's that rando madness, clearly. Oh, he just wants to do the super jump here. Whee! What a show off. You're not allowed to show off after doing all that. That was cool, though. Totally killed the sub, too, but...
Oh, I guess that's a way to get up here.
Yeah, and looks like hXcjedders is sitting on that game over screen, probably contemplating what he's done or kind of anticipating the dot done. I wonder if he did just forget about checkerboard, which would be unfortunate. I mean, it is one of those places that's like, it's just right there, right after desert, so just like no better time to check it. But at the same time, we said the same thing about escape for Futon after GT, and look where we are. I can't believe Futon did a bunch of unnecessary goofy stuff just so we wouldn't get the sub 2.
No, for anybody who's wondering, in chat, Jedders hasn't done anything yet, so... Okay, he just reset his ROM.
All right, almost done with phase 3. We head into phase 4, just 4 silver arrow shots to the face or groin, based on where he's standing, or shoulder, I guess. Nope, groin shot. Oh god, that's gotta hurt. 2 more. As the sub 2 fades away. That is gonna do it. Well then, as soon as he walks through that door, he will be the winner of Game 1 between these 2 players. Can we get some GGs in chat for deathFouton?
Yep. Official SRL time of 2 hours and 32 seconds. And they both say, please do not watch that back.
Mistakes were made. Well, to be fair,
And,
I don't think any real mistakes were made. I think it was just... Well, maybe... We'll see. We'll get him in here and talk.
By the way, Jedders has forfeit as well at this point.
I don't blame him. Alright, I'm gonna pull our winner in. Hey, welcome, Futon. Congratulations on your victory today. How how you feeling, bud?
I'm so stupid.
What do you mean?
God.
What do you mean?
Oh, jeez.
What are you talking about? That's what you were just following the logic. That's what the game wanted you. Check literally everything. You know, it was just one of those things where, I mean, assuming you didn't like forget it or anything, it was just like, I'll just go do other stuff and hope that there's nothing in the front of escape for Fire Rod.
No, I forgot it entirely.
Okay.
We
We were wondering, especially after GT, you just love it. Okay, you check back of escape. It was one of those like, you just finished GT. There's no better time to check escape because you're right there. And then you just saved and quit and you're like, well, we'll see.
We also have Jedders in here now, who was just told about his bow.
Yeah, I meant to go to checkerboard after I finished desert, but my mind was kind of all over the place today.
It's fair. I'm assuming after not doing it, you forgot about it or just assumed you had done it and then never went back? Or was it just I'm going to go do a bunch of other stuff and hope it's not there thing?
Oh, I forgot about it.
Okay, so we have 2 very forgetful players today. Oh, man. We were wondering what was going on. I mean, at the same time, your go mode items could have been anywhere. And especially when you both got the stupid flippers in the first chest of pod, it's like, well, now there's all of Swamp to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, that wasn't friendly at all.
But yeah, you guys were in Ice Palace around the same time, in Swamp around the same time. And it was just a matter of when are these guys going to go do the thing? I mean, for Jedders, he still could have done Mire, which would have brought you to that area where Checkerboard Cave would have been. But there was really nothing that was going to take Futon back to the escape area. And when you went and did back of escape, he's like, all right, he's got escape on his mind. He's going to go check it. I mean, he didn't do it.
Yeah, I had a decision in my mind that there's a chance that you do front of escape and you don't get the key, and then you forget about it by the time you get gloves for the back of escape. Whereas the front of escape, there is no way that we both skipped it. So I was just like, okay, if it's Fire Rod and he's going to win on that, then he's going to win on that, and I'm going to do everything else first.
Yeah. I guess, luckily for you, I skipped something as well, so...
Yeah.
But, yeah, because I did all of Swamp, and I was like, okay, you know, at that point I was like, okay, Bo, I'm assuming has to be somewhere obscure, because I just assumed you found Fire Rod, and then, so I was like, Bo has to be somewhere obscure. So I was like, okay, I'll do left side swamp and get that big key, and maybe it's in the big chest, because everybody hates left side swamp. Then,
Yeah, that was something I like to do. I just never skip chests, so I'll always do left side swamp.
yeah, and then when it didn't turn up in swamp, I was like, okay, maybe it's on green pendant or ped. But Yeah, my controller at the end disconnected and doesn't recognize until I close SNES 9X
okay.
and then open it back up. So that's what happened at the end there. And then that's why I
wondering,
just
yeah.
went. I was like, okay, I guess I'll just go check PED and this is probably done because it was a worst time for that to happen. I was on Laser Bridge.
Oh, that's pretty bad. I was fortunate enough that since it was Fire Rod Go mode, that I just knew Pedestal was dead, Green Pendant was dead, didn't have to fight Tran.
We also did get to see the Mimic clip in GT and Futon doing all of GT in one go, which was pretty cool to see. I hadn't seen that live. Yeah, how about the two gloves in GT? That was something. The other glove was up on the top of the gauntlet, Jedders.
Wow.
Yeah. Not that it really mattered since you found your way into Ice Palace anyway.
Yeah.
But
I was confused most of the time because I couldn't tell if that glove was in logic based on where the keys were. Because technically, right side, for my eyes, was Fire Rod locked, and I didn't know where it was. And I wasn't sure if Fire Rod could be behind the mitts on that case because you can't go right, but you also can't get the key on the right side and spin it on a door. So I wasn't sure. But I don't think I got a small key on the right side, so it looked like it was in logic too.
yeah, I don't think you did. There was a lot of junk on the right side. Also, I really liked the both map and compass and then 2 big 20s in Random Room. That was funny.
Yeah.
It was too good. But yeah, overall, that was a very interesting race. Light World was pretty bare. I enjoyed the 2 swords in Hype Cave after what? How long did you guys go without a sword? Like 40 minutes, something like that?
Yeah.
My stats will tell me anytime now.
Yeah, and by the way, that was the first time I've ever done Hammer Armos Nights, let alone whether it be on ice or not. So I was like, I hope this pays off, and it really did.
Neither of you guys went into Mire, so we never got to see if that Quake ended up. Well, we already know by now that that Quake ended up not.
I had a cool experience with my Armos fight where I kind of always kept them from standing up while I spun around the circle of them, beating them all up. So I got them all pretty low before they actually started moving. I wonder if I could optimize this strat with that for the sword in the future.
I was kind of wondering if you were gonna just use your Ice Rod, drink a potion, and then just use Sword Beams to finish them out.
I was thinking about it. I was like, man, I'm 2 hearts off of Sword Beams. It seems like a waste. I don't want to potion for 2 hearts just so I can Sword Beams.
I mean, we do
would have saved me a lot of time.
At least Futon's first sword was 45 minutes. Futon was the first one to Hype Cave. Because, Jedders, you actually did something really interesting, and you did a YBA in the Overworld to skip the glove requirement to get the blacksmith. I personally had not seen that one, so that was really cool to witness that live.
Yeah, that one. It's not too hard to do. I mean, you just get the YBA and then just kind of navigate your way over to the smith and just kind of try to figure out where the collision is, and you'll get to him eventually.
It did, at the same time, it did take you away from going to Hype Cave and missing out on the swords and, of course, the mirror, which is generally a good item to have when you're doing the blacksmith chain. But
that was actually planned.
Okay.
I wanted to do that way so that I could just grab him, and then because my plan was right, so I was gonna go to do that, then I checked Meyer and Stumpy all over there, and then I was going to go from Link's house, go to the Dark World, check Hype Cave, swing up to the pyramid area, and then after I checked that, I was going to do the swim in the moat across to Hammer Pegs and grab purple chest after I was done there.
Oh, that's a really interesting route, yeah. But then I'm sure once you got your mirror, I was like, oh, hookshot.
Yeah.
Go get that. There was, Futon, a hint. I don't know if you ended up checking it. In Eastern Palace, that the hookshot was in Pyramid Fairy that Jedders had gotten really early in the seed.
I got another one that said a unique item was there.
Yeah.
So like I went there immediately the second I got my mirror, but I didn't get the hookshot one until I was basically
Yeah.
clearing everything because I had the
We were like, okay, Eastern had literally nothing, but except that really useful hint, and then you ended up finding. So Eastern was pretty much nothing. The chest jetters that you died trying to get to in Eastern Palace had the map, by the way.
Well, I guess I didn't miss anything.
Nope.
Oh man, I know that feeling. I had a recent seed I was co-oping with a friend, and I just died on the way there, and I never die on the way there, and I felt real bad. But it's such an awkward situation to leave that chest when you do that, because it's like,
Yeah.
man, you're never expecting to die there, and when it happens, you're just like, oh god,
Well,
how do I route that back in?
I messed up the damage boost, and I was like, well, if there's something there, I hope it's not anything important.
Yeah,
Because I ain't going back for a while.
yeah, that's a rough one, especially because if you don't have a lot of weapons when you go there, and you just at some point get too low, you can't kill everything with pots, and it's just
Oh,
Yeah,
by the way. Oh, sorry.
I went there without weapons, so I just went straight
Yeah.
there.
Well,
I also
alrighty,
enjoyed
guys.
clipping to the island, getting a bottle, and then immediately Uncle going, "Oh yeah, you didn't have to do that. Here's a bottle."
Oh yeah, and then
And then that
death
fairy
warping
I got
in Hera basement.
screwed me over.
Yeah.
And then at that point, I was too stubborn and just sat there on the stuff until I died.
It's okay. I used that opportunity to learn about damage tables with the blue mail, so very important. So I was like, why isn't he using the mini Moldorns as opposed to the Stalfos? Apparently it's different. Speaking of damage tables, we saw during your Ice Armos fight, Futon, that you were using dash pokes on the last guy, which apparently is bad.
The strategy is to poke them, keep your spin so that you can spin them on the third hit for a tempered hit, but I was screwing it up horribly.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. I don't know.
So
Master Sword on Armos is just weird at best, so.
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't really know the swords on Armos because I should never fight them with a sword.
No.
I'm doing this mode specifically, and then I'm just
Mhm.
sad anyways. This doesn't make it feel better, so.
It's fair. Well, this was game one between the two of you. You guys still have game two. I don't know if you guys have that scheduled yet or not. But
yet.
should be a good one. I had a good time. Thank you again for racing. GG's to both you guys on finishing what seemed to be a relatively free seed, or not free seed, but relatively, well, except for the swords. The swords were kind of mean, but relatively
it
free
was
seed.
a front-loaded seed, yeah.
Yeah, it was that was the freest moon pearl that you can absolutely get.
It's like, okay,
was-
Dark World access, great.
Yeah, exactly. And immediately threw out any idea of me wanting to clip to Eastern from Waterfall, or not Waterfall, Ice Rod. It's like the second you get the pearl, it's like, well, I better do all the fake flipper stuff the second I go there because it's all free.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you guys so much. JP, got any final words for us? You want to close this out, buddy?
Yeah, it's good watching you two run. Good luck for you both as you continue in this tournament. If you haven't given these runners a follow, make sure to give them a follow, and watch them as they continue to race through this tournament. Yeah, thanks for racing for us. And do you guys have any final thoughts?
Thanks for the commentary as well as Sam for tracking.
Yeah, thank you very much for putting this on, and I'm sure the audience loved it.
All right, thank you. Yeah, and as I said, also give our tracker a follow. Sammy Mamas or Samimas. Sorry. Yes, Samimas, I think it is. And then, thanks to Willard for joining me here today. Make sure to give him his follow as well. Just looking ahead on the schedule too, just some stuff coming up. We still have more tournament action here today. Coming up actually in about 13 minutes from now, we've got JC and Hacksaw facing off right on this channel, so make sure to stay here. And then later tonight, Futon's going to be playing again against Spleeby. That'll be also on SG2. We also have Chex Human and Act the Boker on SG3 at 9 o'clock Eastern. And then we have plenty more tournament action here, as well as plenty more going on the SpeedGaming network, so make sure to check their schedule as well. Yeah, with that, I think we can close this one up. As I said, we're going to have another race on this channel in just 13 minutes. So make sure to stick around and watch that. And again, Willard, thanks for joining me. And have a good day, everybody.
Goodbye, everyone.